children? Why are we not caring for one another? So, I'm here to discuss with you what do we need to have good, wholesome family life. Why is it necessary? What will it take for us to have wholesome family lives? What will it take for our families to work? Even if you had come from a family that you think it didn't work, or you had experiences that were not good, and you don't even want to think about them. You don't want to even make reference to them at all at any point in your life. You will have a family one day. And it will be good for you to have a family one day. Some people have said, I don't want to marry. I don't want what have you. You think God made a mistake? Didn't know when he said we should be in families? So, we will discuss family life. Now, I want to start with a question. We are all coming from families, isn't it? What are our experiences? Even if it's not your own, what have you seen around? Experiences of families. What have you seen? The experiences of children, the experience of husbands, the experience of wives in families. What will you say? Are things working well? Hello? Are families working well? Yes or no? Are people enjoying the experience of being in families? Are they? Hello? Talk now. Let's talk. Let's talk. That's why the class is small. Let's talk. No wrong answer, no right answer. Some are enjoying, some are not enjoying. Good. So we want to know why are some enjoying and why some are not enjoying. Yes? What will you say is the present state of families, or most families? No, you sit down, don't worry. You can sit down. So what's happening? You need to marry. So at the end of the day, they get married, and then what happens? Things don't work well. Actually, I likened what I've heard, because I've heard many places, but people talking about families, things that have happened. A story I was told, I like telling stories, in Mangu. Anybody from Mangu here? I wish, but even if you are from Mangu, some of you are too young, you may not know what this story is all about. But I was told of a mad woman in Mangu who caught a vulture. Life. There are no vultures again, isn't it? They are disappearing somehow. I don't know what's happening. Some of you have not seen vultures. Have you seen a vulture before? How many of you? You've seen one. This mad woman caught a vulture, and with a big pot of water, the pot on fire, boiling water, she just dipped the live vulture in to cook. And what happened when the vulture had the pain? It was trying to escape. It was trying to escape. You say, I will say it in Hausa. Who can speak Hausa here? You can't? No, I will interpret for you, don't worry. But you better learn it, because here it's lingua franca somehow. Isi angulu zaka gudu ne, dunia se hakuri. Haka mamuka samu dunia. He said, vulture, you go run, you want to run? He said, na so the whole day. We serve, now so we find the world. Now things tough. Now so we find life. Things hard. Haka muka samu duniyan. Kaya hakuri. Kuka so ko baka so ba sai mun cika yau. Za mu dafa ka mu ci. You know, many young people get married, and gone are those days, because even now, I think things have changed. In those days, when the woman comes and they tell the parent, look, this thing, they think not the work. The man not be the kind of person where I think saying go be. The marriage not the one. They will say, marriage. Now, hakuri, be patient. But Gen Z, not they take patience. Once they see no work, what happened? Scatter the whole thing, let's go. Scatter the whole thing. And they scatter the thing, and then what happens? Their life gets scattered. Their life, it's a vital part of your life. It's not an accident that God made you and expects that you live in families. And these families must work for you to enjoy life. Unfortunately, this is not the case. I was told in a church, some people, pastors came in and they were like, they wanted to pray for the widows. They were going to give them some empowerment or some assistance. And they said all the widows should stand up. And Mama Chindu stand up also, stood up, she stood up also. I said, Mama Chindu, you're shaking some widow. She said, the woman stood up also. And somebody asked, he said, when did you become a widow? He said, as the man, they said, we see him. He said, we know they see him. You know they bring anything for the house. It better myself so when the man they away. But whenever he's not around, there's peace in the house. Why is that happening? Why is that happening? There are many people. Another one, they said the man died. They were Baba Pam wannan kuna ganin shi shege mutum ne mugu ba wani shaitan kamar wannan mutum kuna ganin shi na shan giya kamar kifi neman mata shi kamar busuru. She was testifying about her husband. She said, see this man where they lie down here? No useless man like him. They drink beer like fish. They drink water. They chase women like he goat. He said, the man, as you say, I'm so. No wicked man. Everybody was like, you know, there are certain things that you feel ashamed, isn't it? Even if you are not the one saying it, you feel ashamed. How could somebody be talking like this? That's what the woman was saying about her husband. That tells us clearly that they never had a good family life. They didn't have a good family life. And honestly, if we're very closely today, there are many like that. I've spoken in places, I've asked children. The one that made me even like almost crying was when I saw, we had this conference for pastors, and we had them bring their children also at one point. And we were asking the children, would you want to be a pastor like your father? So I said, okay. God forbid, I won't. We asked the young girls, will you marry a pastor? They say, who, me? Make her suffer like my mama suffer with my papa. But it's not only pastors. All across, there are many young people today who have vowed they will not marry. Is that not true? There are many. So if life is about marriage, then forget it. I'm not going to marry. And we ask the question, why is this so? Marriage is supposed to be a good thing, isn't it? I'm happy we're using the Bible because that's the final about everything. Clear in Proverbs said, he who finds a wife finds what? A good thing. We can also say she who finds a husband finds what? A good thing. Can two work together until they were agreed, as somebody was saying? We'll talk about that later, because that's part of the problem. But the truth is that marriage is a good thing. That's why when God created Adam, he said, it's not good for man to be alone. I will make him what? A helper. But when a helper is given to you and you don't allow the helper to help, what happens? You will enjoy the benefits of having the helper. And there are many things responsible for that. And so we will find out why family life of many is not working out well. Why are people not enjoying the experience of being in married life? Jesus in John chapter 10 verse 10, he says, I have come. Part 10a, the first part. I have come that they may have life and have it what? An abundance. We need to enjoy life. We're supposed to have an enjoyable life. Unfortunately, many of us, both the Christians and the non-Christians, somebody said even sometimes it appears as if some of the non-Christians are enjoying it more. We are not enjoying the abundant life. Why not? That is what we want to find out today. Because if your marriage life is not, you are not enjoying it. If your family life, you are not enjoying it. We look back a little, almost everything is not good for you. Because that's just an aspect revealing who you are. So if you are not able to perform well in your marriage, to have a good marriage, because when you are not performing the functions that you are expected to perform in a team, the team will not work, you yourself will not enjoy the thing. So as I told you, I'm a teacher. And I set out, when I understood my calling is to be a teacher, to build men or women, educate people about how to live life. So I'm a life coach. My desire is that I see people live and do life well. And I was more interested in the area of entrepreneurship, productive living. And I went with this thinking. There's this adage. They say, give a man fish, and you feed him for what? You feed him for a moment. Some say a day. But if you teach a man how to fish, what happens? You would what? You can still what? Get in the river and die. So we should not even talk about getting him to fish. That's another version, isn't it? By the time we are expected to be fishermen, and if you don't fish, you are not living life as you are supposed to live. And whenever a thing is not doing what it was made to do, it will suffer. A bird is supposed to fly. If a bird does not fly, it's no longer a bird. So that option is, let's put that aside. Give him a fish. They say you feed him for a day. But teach him how to fish. You feed him for. I want to hear. Please talk. Let's talk. We're not many now. So class, let's interact. If you give him fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, what happens? Feed him for a lifespan. Do you know something? That's not true. It's not true for, at least, it's not true for everybody. It's not true for everybody. There's something that must be in place before you teach him how to fish and you feed him for life. It's a mistake. And I discovered it's the reason why we are having problems everywhere in life. Because when young people come to marry, they take them through what they say counseling, isn't it? For marriage. And what are they talking about? How to do marriage. How how to do marriage. Our trainings, they're all about how to. And so when people have challenges in their family lives, or when people are about to go into family, to set up a family, we teach them how to do family, play their roles. I discovered that's a mistake. The simple one that I can use, maybe you can understand what I'm talking about, is government today, we have what we call economic empowerment programs, skill acquisition. Is that not true? And they've spent billions. But what has happened? Has there been any improvement? I discovered that if all you do is teach a man how to fish, give him a net, he will sell it to buy fish. And that's what has been happening. They train people, spend millions, and then they buy starter packs, give it to them, and what happens? They sell them. They sell them. They've been taught how to fish. They've been taught how to do businesses. But they go out and sell the starter packs. Then tomorrow, another skill acquisition, they are there. Another one, they are there. And some of them have become professionals. Certificate, full back. If you say, let's go make soap, you will look, that one I don't attend. Where did they do them? If he's going to be where people will know him, he said, no, they go again, because he had done it before, in that same place. So I discovered that is our biggest problem. It applies everywhere in life. If all you do is teach a person how to, there's a problem. As I said, give him a net. Did you get that? What did I say? Make him a fisherman, because only a fisherman can fish, not a person who knows how to fish. Matthew chapter 4 verse 19. Jesus said, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Some versions of the Bible, they've not put it in correctly. They said, I will teach you how to catch men. No, that's not complete. I will make you fishermen. And so the problem we are having in society that is creating problems in families is the fact that these young men who marry, these young girls who marry, the men are supposed to be husbands. Is that not so? And the women are supposed to be what? Wives. The problem is that we are getting boys to marry when they have not become men who can do marriage. We have women, girls who they've grown up, yes, they've grown old, but they've not grown up. They've grown old that we think they should marry, but they've not grown up, so they can't do marriage. That's where our problem is. And in an attempt to answer this question, why are we training people, and they're not doing what we are training them to do? Every Sunday, churches are full. But what happens? We go out, no change in society. We train people to do business, and we have seminars, workshops everywhere, every day. And yet, people are not starting businesses. Those who start fail before they go anywhere. Why? Simple. We are not making them people who can do those things. Why? Being comes before doing. Hello? Did you get that? You have to be to do. So if you are going to do marriage well, you must first be a person who can do marriage. If a person is having challenges in his life, in any life endeavor that is involved in, you must first get him right. Make him to be. A story is told of a man, young man who comes back home from work every day. He will play with his small boy, the young boy, that is his son. Every day he comes, he will play with him. So on this day, he came back from work with work. So the boy came, Daddy, let's play. Daddy said, no, give me some time. Let me finish doing what, I have some work. When I finish the work, we will play. So the boy went off. Oh, no, Daddy is not playing. And he went, less than 30 minutes, he was knocking on Daddy's study. What is it, son? Daddy, can we play now? I said, no, give me some few minutes. The boy went. After 30 minutes, he came again, he was knocking on the door. Daddy. And Daddy was thinking of, what do I do to keep this boy away for some time? Then he noticed on his table, there's a page, a newspaper page, that has the map of the world, the globe. And the thing is like a jigsaw. So he scattered the thing and then called the boy and said, take it into your room. By the time you assemble it, we will play. And as far as he was concerned, it will take time. This boy does not have, assemble this thing. It will take time. Less than 20 minutes, the boy was knocking on the door. Said, what is it, son? He said, Daddy, I have finished. He said, finished? No, come on. He said, no, come and see. So he went into the room, and so truly the boy has put the thing together perfectly. How did you do this? He said, Daddy, I don't know the countries of the world. And I was trying to assemble a thing, it was difficult. Then I noticed that on the back of the thing is a picture of a human being. So I know a human being. So when I got the man right, the world was right. When a man's world is not working, what you do first is get him right. The problem is not with the world. The problem is with the man. And until the man is right, the world will never be right. Until the man is right, the world will never be right. And what we've been trying to do is fix the world when the man is not right. The man fights with his wife every day. They quarrels, what have you. They have problems with the business. They have, what have you. They employ him here, they drive him away. Tomorrow, they said the problem is skills. He doesn't have skills. They graduate with certificates. They said they can't create no employment. They create businesses, they can't do it. They said, the problem is with the skill. Go for training. No, it doesn't start on, it's making the man first. Getting the man right. The man is not functioning well because he is not right. Some people will go fasting for days, praying for God to come and do miracles in their marriage. You go to prayer meetings, you have prayer requests. My husband is this, my wife is this, pray for me, please, pray for me. Meanwhile, the problem is not the marriage. The problem is the people involved in the marriage. Fix them first. We have the same problem everywhere now. People are crying about politics. Is that not so? Our leaders. Things are not working for us. Things are, what have you? Things are for us. And we say they have seminars on leadership. How to do what have you. How to do what have you. I used to work in government. 27 years ago, I left. I retired. My burden was, why is Africa not working? Why are things not working for us? I want to know, what is the difference between us and these Oyibo people? Is it the skin color? Then I understood that God has made us dark because of sun. He could have made us like them also. But he made us like this because now this one are paint because of the kind of weather we have. So I said, me too, go this Oyibo place, make her go find out. Why are these people like this? Way back when I graduated, decided I was going overseas to do my master's degree. And I didn't go for any master's degree because I think I've discovered that not be certificate where they do the thing. Because I've met people who don't have any certificate, but they are succeeding in life in terms of, even if we're just measuring success by money, I've seen people who have no certificate making money. I've seen people who have no certificate having good marriages. Because in those days, they never used to, but they remained together. Is that not so? And they raised children well. Society was not the way it is. What is the problem? I cannot get those old people anymore. So I said, but I can learn from these present people, Oyibo people who still there. As God will have it, I got a scholarship. And I went to the UK. I went to Scotland. Oh, brothers, that place cold. I never know any place like that. One of our friends, when you went, one guy from Nigeria, so he went. He said, he no go stay here. Place will be like fridge. Where the place be like fridge, you no go stay here. A place is cold, I'm telling you. But I said, look, this cold not going to kill me. No people there here. Whatever they did me to go there, I've come to learn something. I want to know why they are the way they are. I stayed there for 1 year plus. I refused to stay in the hostel. I got a room in one of the houses. You know, what some of them do is that they have a big house, they can give one room to students. The rent they collect from there, they pay their bills with it. I stayed in one of the houses and I was watching them. Why are these people like this? I was watching them. When I left, after the years, finished my studies, came back, I was like, well, I could see the way they were doing things. And truly, the way they are, in terms of relationships, husband, wife, totally different from where we were doing things. So why are they doing it like that? I stayed. I couldn't explain it. I looked around, I asked questions, I couldn't get answers. So when I left, I said, God, take me to 2 other countries that I would want to go to. The US and Israel. While I was working in government, there's an Israeli company called RCC, Reynolds Construction. They came to Jos. They brought them to Jos. Because that is 1988. They gave me opportunity to go for pilgrimage. And I said, pilgrimage? No, I won't learn what I want to learn. That one is sightseeing. I refuse to go. I want to go to Israel, and why? Small country. But almost every invention they are talking about is really there inside. Billionaires, they make, if it's by population, they are not supposed to even appear. But who are they? They are the majority. These people must know something. When that company came, I was chief engineer then. So I was supervising construction. So I got very close to these guys. Let me learn what they are doing. What is it about the Jew? And after 2 years that I worked with these people, I saw something. Then when I left in 2000, I said, God, take me to the United States. I want to know what's happening. Because I could interpret a little bit of what the Israelis were doing plus the British, but I think I needed to know more. God gave me the opportunity, and I went to the U.S. Got to the U.S., stayed. I met one man there who is today a father to me. This man's company, most of you are in Jos, isn't it? Most of you are in Jos. You know NASCO company. That man's company is far bigger than NASCO. But he told me something. He was driving a Toyota, small, old Toyota. He said, well, he said he has never bought a new car. This is a man who can go to the factory and give them specifications, and they'll produce one for him because he has the money. He said the only new car he ever drove was bought for him by his children. He has 8 children. He said, I'm number 9. This man, with all the money, he said he didn't buy a new car. This man comes to Nigeria, that from 2000, every year he comes. We're doing some work in Warari. Some of you don't know where Warari is. Warari is in Niger State. As late as 2014, 2015, there are still people going naked there. Backwardness. You've heard about Warari? Eh? Around where? No, Niger State. Niger. It's not even too far from from Kontagora and all those places. Yes. People are still going naked. Women, just everything. I look at it, hey, you mean this in Nigeria? I couldn't believe myself. But they were so backwards. These people were going there, digging wells for them. Because if you are not a Muslim, your community forgot about you. Well, the long and short of the story is that I kept going to the US from 2000 to 2017. It's just now that I refuse to go. I don't go again. I don't want to even go again. I refuse to even renew my passport. Because what I saw, what God showed me, I wept for our country. So I'm not surprised that things are not working the way they are working. Because we have missed it. What we call development, both the church and government have missed it. We've not understood what development is really about. I discovered development is about developing people. It's about developing people. That was what I saw in all these places. Until you get a man right, nothing will work in his life. Singapore, small country. They had these problems. When Lee Kuan Yew came in as the prime minister, some of you need to read. That's part of the things you do, isn't it? They read books. Get books to read. There's this book, From Third World to First World. Big book, though. But please read it. They said these people, when Lee Kuan Yew and his friends came in, they wanted to change the country completely. And it's a small country, so one of the things they were doing was building houses. You know, housing was a problem. So they were moving people from the villages, from the poor places, and building houses. And then they said one day they woke up and found out that some of the people they have brought from these villages to occupy these new high-rise buildings that they have. On the 200th floor, the man was raising pigs on his veranda. He was raising pigs on the veranda. No, we don't do those kind of things here anymore. No. The man looked at them strange. And then the lesson for development came out from there. They said, if you want to change a man's condition, you must change the man. Because if you have not removed the slum from him, wherever you take him to, he will make it a slum. Why am I telling you guys all these stories? I'm telling you these stories to bring out this fact that development, change takes place. It starts with changing the person. It starts with changing until you get the person right. Whatever he is involved in will not work. The lesson I learned from the US was this concept, and that's another book that I would want you to read, 7 Habits of Effective People. Have you seen that book before? Good book. Stevie Covey, yes. That book was printed 19 It sold 15 million copies. And I'm sure Nigerian one no day. Because piracy. I discovered something of a recent. Do you know that's what these people are doing? If a book is selling, because what they used to do in those days was, if a book is selling, they buy one, put it in their bag, and go to China and get China to print the thing low cost. Plenty. They bring it in, bribe custom at the port, and they sell. Now they are tightening things at the port somehow. You know what they do now? They buy a copy, employ young people with a computer, in those days typewriter, and they type each page. And they go and print. That's why if you see many of these books now, you read, you see the kind of mistakes they make inside, you'll be wondering, it's not the original. That's what people are doing. There's a place in Jos, they call it Father's Bookshop. Do you know? You've given them your books? I'm telling you, that's what the kind of books they're doing. And for my shocker, or the shocker I had was that they said the man with the place is a Muslim. They're Christian books. You know the place, right? He's a Muslim, I was told. Making money. So, 7 Habits of Effective People revealed something that I saw, that I confirmed in the US, that further strengthened my understanding of the fact that until you develop people, nothing changes. There are principles. Forget about religion. It's not religion. Christianity is not even religion. That's what life is supposed to be. Read 2 Peter chapter 1. Right through, it talks about add to your faith knowledge. To your knowledge, this, to your this, to this. Which means there are parts we are expected to play. It's not praying to God to come and do for us. But that's what we are doing. Some of the prayers must like they are commanding God to come and do. This is it. We have a role to play, which means we have to become people who can do. For your marriage to work, your relationship to work, you must become a person who can do relationships. If you want to make money, you must become a person who can make money. You want to do business, you must become a person who can do business. You want to be a leader, you want to lead, you must be a person who can. So I'm telling you these stories to just let you know that, look, just knowing what to do, how to do it is not enough. You have to be. Get the man right, and his wall will be right. I will talk about when is the man right and how do you get him right. But I'm trying to explain to you this fact that we have missed how to. Our how to is not correct. The strategy we have adopted to get people to do things is not correct. That's why things are not working. A man will have a box full of certificates and he can't manage himself. You have a box full of certificates and he marries and 2 years divorce. You can't do marriage. It's education, 0. That book talks about that in every society you can divide people into 3 groups. Level 1 people, level 2 people, level 3 people. It is only when people are at level 3 that they can do things right. Level 1, we call them dependent people. Level 2, independent people. Level 3, interdependent people. Let me tell you a little bit about each group, and I'm sure you can place our people, or maybe even ourselves, where we are. Dependent people are right mentality people. It's my right. Do for me. It's my right. Can you imagine? Do I use a boy or a male? Do I use male or female now? I use male. Okay, female. Okay, let me use both. That is because in marriage, when you have the person at level 1 marry, these are the problems you will see. Or if you take that person, even give him a job, these are the problems you will see. Or if you have one of those as your brother or your sister, these are the problems you will see. Can you imagine? Now, my brother, see the number of cars we get for a house. I said, give me one. What do you talk? Go and buy your own. And now my brother, he felt entitled. Give me. Give me. When you carry that kind of person and give him a wife, what's going to happen? Or carry that kind of a woman and give her a husband. Eh? You will feed all of them. You will have to feed them. Right mentality people who believe, do for me, do for me, do for me. It's my right. But you know, when people live at that level, sometimes when they start insulting them like that, get out of this place, man, go and do whatever. And he sits down one day and gets angry. And then moves to level 2, which we call what? Independent. That's the level where he is doing something, but he's doing for who? Himself only. What is in it for me? What is in it for me? Do for me. Give that kind of a person business to do. Give that kind of person marriage. He's going to be, it's only focusing on what he can get. He doesn't care about the partner. He doesn't care what goes on there. He will go out and eat in a restaurant. Maybe spend like 20,000 naira one meal. And then comes home and give the woman 500 naira. And when she complains, she said, last week I gave you 500. What have you done with it? 500? What can 500 do? I'm talking of those days. You know, pardon me my mindset. 500 today is nothing, isn't it? I was telling them somewhere I was talking, I said, look, I bought my first car, 1,900 naira. That's the price of loaf of bread now. You can't even get, you can't get a loaf of bread for 1,900. So when you get somebody like that talking about money, you expect him to talk about 500 for 1 week. Because to you, presently, you will say that man is mad. Because 500, what is 500? It can't even buy you chewing gum. But they are thinking only about who? What can he get in there? Doesn't care about what have you. Those kind of people are selfish people. They are thinking, what is in it for me? What is in it for me? What is in it for me? Then we have the people at level 3, which we call what? Interdependent people. These are people who think win-win. They seek to understand before they are understood. They are team players. When you have those kind of people in any activity, you'll be happy to have them because they are not thinking about themselves. They are thinking about things working. They are team players. By the time they start talking to him, they will want to say, what is it that you want to say? And then he will listen to you first. Okay, you will listen and listen patiently. They say, oh, bros, that is not the thing I was talking about. You know, this was what I was saying. This is what I was saying. The person will now say, oh, is that so? I didn't know that was what you were talking about. Will those kind of people, will there be quarrels? Even if there are misunderstandings at the end, he holds himself back. and allow the person to pipe down a little. Then he now comes and talk and say, what really were you trying to talk about? These are people we call matured people because they have self-control. They're able to discipline themselves. And so, as I said, when I went to the US trying to find out, to see why is it that these people are the way they are and we are backwards as we are, I discovered that what changed their society to be where it is today, where things are working. The policeman will not take bribe for it, because sometimes even just looking at the policeman himself, you don't have the courage to say you are giving him bribe. Because the way the man looks, he even looks better than you. But look at our policemen at the junction, at the, what do you call it, checkpoint. So the man himself is already talk less of giving him responsibility. You have to make the people first. You have to get the people right first. Unfortunately, that's what we don't look at. Move them from, because we are all born level 1. Sin has made us to level 1, level 2. But God did not create us to function at this level. It has to be level 2, 3. That's why I was talking about teamwork is key. Because I may be able to play this, I need you, you need me. Each one of us came into this world with something for the world. Do you know this parable in the Bible that talks about the talents? The man with 1 talent, what did he do? He buried it. What did the master tell him? How did he describe him? A wicked man. Why do you think he's wicked? He's called a wicked man because, look, every one of us came into this world with a message for the world. It's like they sent you with medicine for a sick person. And you came, you refused to deliver the medicine, and the man dies. Who killed the man? Is it a disease? No, it's you who refused to give the medicine. And so if you came with a solution to a human problem, because every one of us is born with a solution to a human problem, we have a part to play to make this world better. And when you refuse to play your part, you are wicked because somebody is going to die because of you. When God gave me the understanding of that parable, I said, that's why I went out talking about entrepreneurship. Because entrepreneurship is simply solving problems for people. He said, the least I expect of you is to have put the money in the bank. Do you know what that means? When you put money in the bank, what happens? They give the money to somebody to trade. The least life expected of any of us is that you are working for somebody. And working for somebody is training. Because none of us is born qualified. We are born equipped but not qualified. We need training. That's why if you are working for somebody and you are playing with it, you are not faithful, you are destroying yourself. Because one day you are expected to what? Grow up and do your own also. But when you see another people's own as, so you want to destroy it, now there you to remain. So what am I saying? I'm talking about making the man so he can function well, isn't it? Because our problem is about the man not being right. That's where the problem is. You have to get the man right. Simple. The Bible says, make a tree good and it will bear good fruit. When people are doing things wrong, the problem is not about the thing they are doing, but them. You must get them right first. So as I said in the US, I realized that what we call Christianity that came in in Europe and went to America and all the rest of them. It changed their culture and changed the people and moved the people from level 1 to level 3. How did I know that? I was watching and seeing, because how that Baba, I told you that is my father now, happened was that I went to speak in a conference there, and the man came after, met me and was asking me, why did you come to America? And I said, I came to America to learn why America is the way it is. The man said, no, go back home, we'll give you money to do this training, entrepreneurship thing and the rest of them and the rest. And I said, if it is money, I know for come here, because it's easier to make money in Nigeria than to make money here. And the man looked at me strange. But that's not how your brothers talk about America. The man said, pack your things, we'll go to my house. He showed me a room. He said, anytime you want to come to America, I'll buy a ticket for you. That's what I was doing from 2000 to 2017, until I refused to go. When I saw the answer to the questions that I've been looking, because my place of assignment is not America, it's Nigeria. That's why I refused to leave. And that's why I'm so excited about what ECBI is doing, raising, producing people who can function right. That's why I had to come. If not, I for no come. Thank you for being here also. Because if I had come and nobody is here, but even if I had met one person, we would still talk. Because the assignment is not about number. If this number can go out and do things, things will change. I'm telling you. She started one, and she assembled some people. Before you know it, see my big brother there. Because like attracts like. And this is how the thing will explode. So don't see what is happening here lightly. God wants to do something for us. I'm telling you, something wants to start. We're driving on the street in Chicago. And as we were going, the man who was driving, I was sitting in front with him. We got to a junction, no traffic, no policeman. But as we were coming, another car had come and was waiting there. So when we came in and my guy who was driving stopped, that driver was about to take, and just when he was about to move, another car came. And when that guy came, this guy took the turn. You know what happened to that driver? What did he do? He stopped. If in Nigeria, what will happen? Even if they ran about self. And when the man moved, this guy stopped and we moved. God spoke to me. Until you reach that point when you have consideration for others, nothing will happen in your life. Because you are here for others, not for yourself. Relationships in families, whatever, have problems because we've not become people who consider others. Things will change only because Jesus said, love God, love your neighbor. Is that not so? 2 commandments only. Love God, love your neighbor. Until you are able to love others, you can't do things for their sake. So you have to become a person who can love others. I realized that's what happened that changed America. Christianity changed their culture. Changed the people. They have consideration for others. But look at what's happening with us. From government to everywhere. I was somewhere last week and somebody was telling me, say, my brother, because now my focus is retirement. That's what I'm talking about mostly now. And the guy told me, he said, look here, my brother, some of us who have been in private sector, now we are seeing what is happening. I don't know where we are going. Because even the civil servants, you submit a proposal, they will take the proposal and change it and put their what have you and do the thing. They are thinking only about who? Themselves. They do the government work for themselves, not the people that they are there for. And it's reflected like that in marriages, in homes. It's reflected like that on our roads. Look at the way we drive on a roundabout. The roundabout is created to slow traffic down and then give room to who? Those on the... But what happens? It is riggy. That is not what it's supposed to be. And all these small acts are revelations of who we are. And who we are determines what we do and how we do it. And until we can do things right, nothing will work. The marriage, families issues, because they're just revelations of what is in our society. And once the family is destroyed, everything is destroyed. Because it is from that source that young ones are being raised to take over. Like somebody was saying, I think he said that, I love what he said. The fact that, yes, make sure you are there to benefit others and you are also raising other people. Mentoring and coaching, that's something I do also, that I love. But we're not thinking about that because of the kind of people we are. We're not raising the ones, even children, that God has given us to mentor and raise. That's why things will not work. I said somebody entered a restaurant to eat. Then he saw it written clearly, the food is free, just eat. Your father has paid for it. The man read the thing again. He ordered 2 plates. He ate. Then took his bag and was about to go. He said, young man, thank you very much. I'll come back again next time. And the young boy said, Baba, wait first. Brought a bill and gave him. I said, what's the bill for? He said, can't you read? The boy said, of course I can read. I'm the one who wrote it now. So why do you want me to pay? So we want you to pay because your father paid and you ate. We want you to pay so you eat. You know what he said? He said, my friend, don't disturb me. When they come, let them pay for themselves. That's the mentality we have. We are benefiting, we are enjoying everything that we're enjoying today because of somebody. Same should be, do family because of somebody, if not for anything except the children that God will give you. But we're not. Why? Because we have not become people who can do. And you must become to do. Many a times people are thinking, what do I do? What do I do? Without thinking about who should I be. And until you think about who you should be, even if you are told what to do, you can't do it. Like today, people are saying, show me what to do so that I can get money and be a rich man. No, money does not make you rich. Money does not make you rich. You have to be rich before money comes. And when money comes, it will stay. You have to become. Why have I bored you with all these stories? I've bored you with these stories because honestly I want to bring out this concept of being, because I found out it's the missing link in our society. Many people don't understand it. And you know, unfortunately, there is, when you look around society, you know, God is so gracious. Everything you are thinking about, God has caused it to happen in ways somewhere that if only you can look close enough, you will see. So as I was thinking about this concept of being and the rest of them, when I was in the secondary school, there used to be what we call cadets. Some of you might have heard about it, but it's no more now, unfortunately. They train you fully as military. In those days, scouts are junior people. But in the cadet, even how to shoot. They train us on that. We go for camps in the bush and things like that. Military training like what goes on in the NDA. And when I finished, I was so passionate about joining the army. So when I did HSC, there's no HSC now, from the university, I was like, and in those days they used to come to the university after graduation and just recruit those who want to join the army. And I was so passionate about wanting to join, so I wrote my name to also want to join. And because I know everything about all these things. But thank God that I did not join the army. And you know what? God has in mercy. He used that to train me for what he wanted me to do, not to go and join the army. So on the day that they were coming to final fill forms and the rest of them, you know what happened? I slept off in the afternoon. So I missed the exercise. When I woke up, I said, this God, self. That's why all things work for good. If only you understand God, believe me, life will be so easy. I thank God that I slept off. Because if I had joined the military, it would have been the wrong place. But my knowledge of cadet and my knowledge of the army, how the training is done, makes me now understand very clearly the process of making. I didn't know that was what God was preparing me for, this concept of being. Because when I was asking, Lord, teach me this process of making. Because if it's the missing link, how do we do it? If I'm going to teach it, how do I teach it? So that people can understand it. Then he said, go to the army. And I know everything about the army. The human being is not functioning well. That's why it's not doing things well, I said. Is that not so? So if we are to repair him, which part of him is bad that we need to repair? So he can be good, so he can function well. Because if a car is not moving well, the mechanic will always want to find a problem, isn't it? And then fix that problem, the car will work again. So in the case of a human being, what is wrong? That he is functioning wrongly. That we are not doing things correctly, because all these stories that I have bored you with is to let you know that the problem is in the man not functioning well. And when the man functions well, things will work well. Now, I want you to write this down. I discovered that every human being can be divided into three parts. Every human being can be divided into 3 parts. And when a man is not functioning rightly, and when I say man, I mean man, woman, okay? Human beings. When a human being is not functioning well, he's not acting rightly, he's doing what he's expected to do rightly, the problem may be in one of those 3 places, or with one of the 3 parts that he's made of. So I like illustrating simple like that, you can understand, you will not forget. So the first part, the human being can be divided into 3 parts, I said. Is that not so? The first part is the head. Then the heart. 3H, usually I call them. The heart. And then the last H, hands. So the head, the heart, the hands. When a human being is not functioning well, is not performing well, there's a problem with one of these 3 things or all the 3. The head. If the problem is with the head, then you need to go to the head and correct the head. Is that not so? If it's with the heart, we need to correct the heart. If it's the hands, we need to correct the hands. But for us to understand how this can go wrong and how we can repair, we need to know the function of each of these 3 parts when it comes to a human being. So what do we use the head for? Thinking. It's associated with knowledge. What is the heart for? Huh? The heart. For pumping blood. The heart has to do with character. That is, a person's nature is revealed by his heart condition. So his heart has to do with character, okay? Character. Then the hands. Human being has how many hands? 2 hands. A normal human being has 2 hands. And each of them, the 2 hands are used for what? What is the hand associated with? Doing. The doing, isn't it? Then somebody asked me, say, you talked about the head, the heart, and the hands. How about the legs? And I said, don't mind about the legs, because wherever the head goes, the legs go. That's why we have only the head, the heart, and the hands. So when a human being malfunctions, when he is not doing things rightly, one of these 3 is responsible. In God's affairs, it's 3/3 or it's failed. So if the head has to do with thinking, knowledge, if a man has wrong knowledge about a subject matter, about a thing, he will do it wrongly. That's why when a person misbehaves, does something wrong, they will say, your head not correct. Is that not true? It's true. The head not correct. That's why he's not doing it right. Because that is the starting point. Head knowledge has to do with knowledge. My people perish for lack of knowledge is one of my best verses. Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. When a human being has the wrong knowledge pertaining to a subject matter, he will do it wrongly. That's why if you have not defined marriage, you've not defined the family correctly, the purpose of family, what the family should be, how it should be run, if you have not gotten it rightly, you will act wrongly. The heart issue, the head, it reveals a person's knowledge. Mindset. You've heard that word before? Your disposition, your mindset is thinking just simply how you see things, your perception, how you see things. When the way you see things is not correct, you will not act right. You employ a man to work for you, and his definition of work is what you do to make a living. When he comes to work, what is he thinking about? Salary. How to make a living. You say, why they work? I said, they find job. Eh? How much first? When you want to do work, if somebody calls you, like if you're a craftsman, somebody was talking about being a carpenter or something, or being a builder, a carpenter. And then, do you know, they said 3 people were building, masons. And they asked one man, what are you doing? He said, he's building a cathedral where people will worship and what have you. The other one said, what are you doing? He said, I've been asked to lay blocks. And the other person said, they find food. Who do you think will do the best job? Your perception about what you have been doing matters a lot. So if marriage, you see marriage as getting a person who will cook food for you, will produce children for you, then the way you will relate to her or the way you treat her will not be right. Because your definition of what the thing is wrong. That's why the starting point of everything is get the head correct. Thank you. Get the head correct. The reason why people go for skill acquisition trainings, at the end of the day, they collect the thing, and what is that? Their definition of why you acquire skills is wrong. They are looking for a job. The man not going to mind himself, set the house on fire to sell the ash, make a fine job. You are stealing from the place. As you are walking, you are stealing from the place. The place go there tomorrow. No, all he's thinking about is what? Give me, make a chop now. He's not thinking about even tomorrow. And that's why when you start anything with a human being, make sure you correct the head. You must correct the head. And I'm afraid many of us, our definition of family is wrong. Those who are campaigning now to go to House of Representatives, go to Senate, go House of Assembly, become governors, their definition of why they are getting there is what? Make her become rich. Opportunity to have access to the coffers of resources. When the man wins election, people will come from his village with drums. Our turn, don't come. Now it's our turn to celebrate. When they are supposed to be crying, because big responsibility. But is that the way we see it? No. You serve in a position, and when you build house in the village, oh, see this one, foolish one. See so person, see so person. And the sad thing about this is that we are raising young people in the family, children, who are copying. We are mentoring. A young boy was asked, when you grow up, what do you want to become? He said, I want to be a senator. He said, senator? Why do you want to become senator? He said, see uncle now, he didn't have anything. Now that he became senator, see the houses he has built, see the cars he has bought. What have you? The young boy said he wants to be senator. And then the young girl who was there said, and you, my dear, what do you want to be? He said, I want to marry him. Yes, senator's wife. Who no go want to become senator's wife? See what the president's wife is doing. See what the president's wife is doing. They were giving Prado jeeps, brand new, to women. And she was telling them, register them in your name. Not even government, private. How much is one Prado now? How many million? And they bought how many of them? They are supposed to be 36. Where did they get the money from? Because they are in government. Who will not want to go there to get money? But that's the reason for being there? No. When the definition, when the head is not correct, trouble there. The thing no go good. And the truth is that when the head no correct and you do the thing wrongly, you no go far. The thing will collapse. I don't want to say anything about government now. We are in campaign time. But the truth is that there are many we are seeing on the streets who have been in those positions. They've seen all those millions. Where are they now? That's why I told you I'm passionate. Now the project I have in my head now is retirement, because of what I see happen to people when they retire. And many people think retirement has to do with only civil servants. No. Everybody should retire. That's why life is in phases. We're talking about this family life and the rest because we want to raise the young ones properly so that they can take over from us. What this guy said, he said, you should be there to benefit somebody and lift up somebody. That's how life is supposed to be. Because whether you like it or not, a time comes when you should move forward. And then when you move forward, let somebody come. But young people tell me these days, say, would they help people to climb? But when they climb up there, they carry the ladder along with them. I said, don't worry. They carry ladder along. Whether they like it or not, they will come down. Is that not so? They will have to come back. They will have to come back. And since they have removed the ladder, and you need the ladder to come down, what will happen? You crash land. And that's why there are many people today that a time came when we were celebrating them. Now, they are nowhere. History, even their children, no history, nothing. That's the problem. Head no correct. So we must get people to have the right knowledge of what it is. For example, as simple as that, work. What is work? What is work? Why should you work? How should you work? Because of what work is. Work is what you do to deliver the message that God sent you with. And somebody will say, how did God sent me? No, Mama born me. Yes, your mama born you. That's the channel we came as to deliver a message. That's why when we pray to God, when we have a need and pray to God, how does God answer us? Have you ever thought about that? When you have a need and you pray, how does God answer? He uses a human being. So the arrival of every human being to the world is the arrival of a solution of a human problem. That's why the worst thing you can do is to kill a human being. Because you are killing potential of something that you may benefit from, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will benefit from. So it's like you planted a mango tree that will yield fruits. And then you come and do what? You cut it off. That's what's happening. Every human being is important. Satan has created all kinds of things to destroy us, and we don't know because of ignorance. Some have become another thing. They're killing human beings. That's the worst thing you can do. Everything we're enjoying today is somebody's handwork. That person you are killing is carrying something that your great-grandchildren will benefit from. But you are saying when they come, let them buy for themselves. You don't care. You don't care. Or some are so wicked that this man stayed in a house, a government house. But when he retired, when he came to the house, they had already built the house, planted mango trees, what have you, all around it. And then when he retired, he packed the things he was going. You know what of the things he did? He cut the mango tree. I said, what are you doing? He doesn't want anybody to come and eat. Hi. That's the head no correct. Head no correct. My friend came from the US in Nigeria. And the house they kept him was all bare, blank. So this guy on Saturday, when they were or what have you, and the driver was looking at him. On Monday, when they got to the office, he said, come on. I don't know, say, Oyibo man, a foolish man. Oh. They say, what thing happened? He said, this man will go do 3 months for project. If they plant banana, plant orange, when the thing will grow, make it chop. If he is not going to be the one who will eat it, it's useless. He's not thinking about others. He's level 1 and 2. Nigeria is in level 2. The highest point you can reach, no. That's what you should say. Where we are, but not that where you can be. Because where you can be is not determined by the where you are. It's controlled only by you. And God is available to help you. But Nigerians, the way we are now, and that's why we're having problems, is that we have, majority of us are even at level 1, and some have moved at level 2. You know, my name is Chikan. But when I go to the East to speak, they forget about the N. They always say Chika. So they will call my name Chika. And sometimes I finish speaking, they will come to me and start speaking Igbo to me. And I said, I'm not Igbo. Then they will say, where you get the name Chika from? I said, nah, my papa still am. You know? But I keep telling these guys every time, honestly, I said, look, our problem, because when they said you are Igbo, I said, yes, I'm Igbo. Then I get the opportunity to say what I want to say now. I said, my brothers, you know what? We can rule this country, but our problem is that we can't play together. That's our problem. Why? Because we've not moved to level 3. That is the problem. And until that happens, nothing will happen to any of us. So correct the head. I've forgotten about time, I hope. Can I go on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So correct the head. Correct the head. That's why Christianity is the truth. Romans chapter 12 verse 2 said, be transformed by what? Renewal of your mind. That's the starting point of becoming a Christian. After you confess Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, change must take place in you to be able to do, to become this new person. And he said, be transformed by the renewal of your mind. That is, put in new information. Operate by its different content and context. Reprogramming. The reason why when you pick people and just come and tell them to do or teach them how to do is the same thing as downloading an app onto a wrong operational. If the app is not compatible with the operational system, will it work? So we go to church and we're teaching people about Christianity, how to do, love your neighbor, what have you and what have you. That's the operating system, the app we're downloading. Love your neighbor, love what, do what have you, do what have you. But the operating system, which is the world view, does not agree with that one. So it's not going to work. That's why churches everywhere, nothing changes. Hey, the Lord says, I will bless you. I will this, I will that, I will this. And the man is looking at you there, suddenly he starts sleeping. Do you know why? What you are talking does not apply to him. Because the app is not compatible with. That's the problem. That's the problem. So correct the head. When the head is corrected, there's still another problem, because we operate in an environment that we are not the only people in the world. There are forces that are working, because the world we live in can be divided into two. Positive, negative, let me use it that way. Positive, God. Negative, Satan and his agents. And each of them is working to have control over you and me. Each of them is working to get you to do things their way. So when the head has been reprogrammed and you are desirous of doing the right thing, have you noticed that anytime you want to do a good thing, there are forces that come on you to drag you to do the wrong thing? Have you noticed that? Let me give you one example. Those of us who collect salary, or even those who don't collect salary, you say, next money that is going to come, I'm going to save. Before the money comes, you think as if somebody don't go tell them. The people who sell on bias or bias or uku, you know, there are some guys who specialize in taking money from people. I call them legal thieves. That is, those who work for other people, when the salaries are just about to come, that's when they'll come with things. He said, buy. He said, no, I don't need this one. I said, no, don't worry, just take, you pay anytime. And then you take. And then when the salary comes that you wanted to save, what happens? You have to give. And before you know it, you have not saved. And next month again, before you know it, and before you know it, they will say, it's time to retire, go home. I say, but I don't have anything now. They say, but whose fault? You were not paying me enough. Is that true? They will never get anywhere where they will pay you enough. The good thing is that you are being paid something, because what you are being paid, part is food, part is seed. And you don't need a bag full of seeds to go and sow and get a bag. So the problem is there's what we call derailment forces. Derailment forces come on you to make you not do what you know is right. And what gives you the strength to say no, to resist these derailment forces is what we call character. Character is the nature of a thing, material science. So if I lean on this table, the table is able to carry me because of its character. It's what gives him the inner strength to resist pressure that comes on it. And we live in a world that is pushing pressure on us. Forces are coming on you to do what is wrong. One of the studies I'm doing now is trying to understand how people get to do things that they know is wrong. And I realized that how that happens starts with the head. You are sitting down, innocent, nothing. You are not thinking of, you are thinking. Then suddenly from nowhere, a thought just bam on your head, in your head, about something that you have done or something. Or sometimes you just see somebody and maybe the person had offended you before. And they think many years ago, but just seeing him, so the reminder of what happened. And you start thinking about what have you, and then you just become angry, you start what have you. Where is that coming from? Who brought the thought? Derailment forces from the negative force. To get you to think, and as a man thinks, so he is. So when you are thinking negative thoughts every time, and you know what? One discovery I made that excited me so much is that thoughts are things. And they can drop on you if you don't accept them and think on them. They will have no effect on you. So Satan, the way Satan gets at us is through thoughts. So you think, you feel, you act. You think, you feel, because when you think, you are analyzing a thought that has dropped in you. And by the time you start feeling in a way, the next thing is you act. And you act today, I said, what do you mean? I said, simple. Keep telling lies every day. Don't even worry about whether the people is what. Just, even when they ask you anything, just tell a lie. Before you know it, you've graduated. You become an excellent liar. So that's what Satan does. He's not bothered about coming to get you to go and steal now. If Satan wants you to steal in the next 10 years, he will start today. Getting you to even thinking about it. Then next time he gives you opportunity. And then say, this one, okay, maybe let me see what I have here. Hey, I have somebody here. That's true. You see this one? Put it in there. Then Satan will start thinking about these things. One day, the next time, that after you've been thinking and thinking over, if I this and that, then you see this feet and you look, you carry and put. And you go, nothing happens. Nobody sees you and what have you. Or maybe even if they see you, but then nothing, what have you. The next thing is what? You want to carry this one. The next thing is what? You want to sell the whole place. You've graduated. Satan is very patient. He will take you small. He doesn't care. He's patient. So he starts with the head. Then you become weak because you can't resist the derailment force. Character is inner strength that enables you to resist temptation. So if the head is correct, but the heart is not correct, you will still fail. That's why there are many of us who know the right thing to do, but we're not doing. Because when it comes to doing, we don't have the self-discipline to get ourselves to go do. Procrastination, I'll do it tomorrow. Next tomorrow. Before you know it, it's already late. You can't do it again. And then you find yourself, I can't do anymore. Before the man knows what's happening, because all from the word go, we said, be saving small from it. And then you said, no, well, next time I'll do, next time I'll do, next time I'll do. Before you know it, you are 50 years old. Next thing is you are 80. And they say, go. And you said, these people are wicked. Who is wicked to who? You kill yourself. I was telling them somewhere, young people, I said, listen to me, young people. Let me tell you something. One of my lecturers, first year in university, told us something that I've never forgotten. And anytime I speak to young people, I always want to use it. He said, you guys have been trained to be engineers, because I'm an engineer by training. I want you to listen to me. And we listened. And he said, they say experience is the best teacher. He said, correct. Very, very correct. But do you know something? He said, no. Never leave to learn from your experience. Never leave to do what? Learn from your experience. That's why when elders, older people talk about things, listen. Because these are people who have gone there and seen it, and they have come back and they're trying to warn you. There's a hole on the road. There's a hole on the road. That's exactly what we're doing here today. Experience. Sharing our experience with you young people. The heart is strength. And without character, you are wasting time. Because the forces that are out there would not allow you to go anywhere with what you have in your head. So the head can be correct, but if you don't have the strength to resist these options that are coming all over from you, you can't move with what you have in your head. Hello? And that's why as Christians we have an advantage. What we call the fruit of the Holy Spirit gives us strength to say no. Gives us strength. So actually there are 5 traits that we call character traits that you need to be strong to implement what is in your head. First one is courage. You have to be courageous because we live in a world that you have so many things that will frighten you. So many things that will want to weaken you. Second is endurance. You must endure. Because Satan will go after you, He will never give up. He never gives up. Endurance. Third is vision. Because if you don't have vision, you can't go on this journey of life. You need to see all these things that I've talked about. They are the truth, no doubt, but they are difficult to implement. And when you want to implement them, Satan will come on you. The only thing that can save you, as I said, is strength. And what provides you with this strength? Courage, endurance, and then vision. Because if you can't see where you are going, when a problem comes up, you can abandon the journey. But if you can see where you are going, and you know that, look, it's a better place than where I am now. And these forces that are coming to stop me, these problems that I'm facing now, are all from the negative, trying to stop me because they don't want me to get there. Then you can stand to do. Vision. Vision. Seeing tomorrow today and living today for that tomorrow. Then love. Because by the time you get to where you are supposed to go to, it's not even for yourself, it's for others. Like that guy said. And when you get there, you know, the interesting thing that every time I think about, I say, wait, we pray to God for things. But none of these things that we pray for example, money. Is money with God? Money is with who? With people. And the only way they can give you the money is if you can give them what they want. Then they will give you money. Those of you who speak Hausa, money is simply sheda nunangodia. Appreciation note. Money is appreciation note. By the time you serve people, they will appreciate you. And when you are spending money, nobody ever asks you, where did you get the money from? One of my friends has a septic tank emptier. He wrote on top, shit the smell, but shit money not the smell. Is that not true? By the time you go spend money, where you get from packing shit, they ask you where you get the money from, and if you tell them now from packing shit, they will refuse to collect it. No. Love of people. So life is about serving people. Until you become a person who can serve people, forget it. It takes becoming a person who can serve. Love. Then the last but not the least is discipline, self-discipline. And self-discipline is ability to manage yourself, to say no to your desires, to remain balanced, to do what you know is right, despite the consequences. And you will do because you know the benefits. Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. When you don't know that standing on truth, doing what is right, and this is the reason why you should do it, you follow the rest. Like I was telling them somewhere, I said, look, if thieves only know that yes, you could steal this thing and you escape with it, nobody will do what have you. But do you know that wherever you go with this thing that you have stolen, you've opened yourself up to the negative forces. Job chapter 1. Do you know my servant Job? Of course I know Job. Have you not created a fence around him and blessed the works of his hands? Those are the two things you need in this life. God's blessings, God's protection. Because you could do whatever you want to do, but as long as you don't have that protection, Satan will mess it up. Satan will mess it up. That's why you need to become a person that God can protect. The truth, do what is right. Integrity, values are right. Character, head correct, heart correct. These two, they are necessary, but they are not enough. What's the last one? Hands. Have you noticed there are two hands? Which means there are two types of skills. You need, what do we use hands for? Doing, causing to happen. As long as the earth remains, there shall be seed time, harvest time. We live in a cause and effect world. So until you cause, it can't happen. So we must do for it to happen. And for you to do, you need skills. But there are two types of skills. So like a bird that has two wings, it can't fly with only one wing. When we go for skill acquisition trainings, I notice the deficiency in them, apart from they don't address the head and the heart issues, they are only focusing on only one wing. That is, they're talking about, because we have what we call the micro and macro skills. Micro skills are the doing skills. Macro skills are the skills that relational abilities that enables you to use the doing skills. I'm sure some of you know tailor. If he sew dress for you, fantastic. But the guy never sits down to sew. You know people like that? He quarrels with all his customers. He has micro, but no macro. Relational skills. That's why they usually say the micro skills will give you a job, but it's the macro that will keep you in the job. There are many of us who start businesses because we have a skill that we have been trained to do something. But because we cannot relate with people, we can't work with other people, we can't relate with the customers, the business never grows. because it is about serving other people. But for you to serve them, you must relate to them. Hello. There are many, that's a big problem to many of us, isn't it? But for you to relate to them well, you must love them. It's a hard issue. So get the head correct, get the heart correct, get the hands correct. And you will become. And do you know that's exactly what the army does? By the time you report at the depot, you come in from there, they will say, yeah, register your name. Welcome. And on the other side, the man is sitting this way. You will register, you write what have you. They will say, yeah, when you, all the documentation, so yeah, go inside there. When you go in, well, now things are different. But in those days, people used to leave afro and all the rest. But even now, when you go with this one, the first thing they do is what? Do you know what that means? They shaved your head. They are simply telling you whatever you came with, we are going to remove it and put our own. New identity, completely. Whatever you came with, the way you think, we'll change it here. That's the first thing. They will change your thinking. You are now a soldier, not a civilian. And then parade. Do you know that when you join the army, by the time you go to the depot, whether even if you were taken to serve in the kitchen, you will go parade every morning. Do you know why that is being done? Do you know the use of parade? Left, right, left, right, left, turn. That is, we're supposed to turn like this, isn't it? We will say, okay, better make it turn right, because this one better. Is that what you will do? For where? For where? In the army, they work in teams. So they have a leader, they have a mission, and they have a team members. Obey Oga. That's why if Oga say you are stupid, what do you say? I said it somewhere, the man said, no. When Oga say you are stupid, you don't just say yes, sir. You say yes, sir, always. That is complete what? Submission. Complete submission. You carry civilian, wear uniform for me, and then you said, I'm stupid. Will I say yes, sir? For where? Okay, what did I do you? So they must first make you, and they work on your head. Teamwork, army, that's why they do parade. So as they are marching, you don't just march like that and you are going your own thing like that. No. As you are marching, you are looking right, you are looking left to make sure that what? You are in a straight line. Consideration for others. You are not going alone. And then there's somebody in front who is the one doing what have you. What is that? Obey your leader. Obey leader. There's authority. So they make you a soldier. After all those parade and what have you, the next thing now is to toughen you, because you are going to operate in an environment that is hostile. So you must be able to withstand the pressure that the environment that you are going to do what you have been taken to do will come. That's why they go for screw, they put barbed wire, you scroll underneath. Because in the war front, when they start shooting gun, they say, down, you go down. If you say, waiting, they happen, waiting at it, your head will go. So you must obey order. You must be able to toughen yourself because of the environment you are going to. That's why we work on the head, work on the heart, work on the hands. That is what makes you to be a person who can do. When you marry, first your head must be correct, is that you know what marriage is about. What is it all about? Family life, what is it? What is family life all about? Your heart toughens because you are going to meet situations You wake up one day and this woman, where you say, my love, what you will tell you are very stupid. And you say, this woman, how can you talk like that to me? She will talk like that to you because she's a different person. And you're wondering, how can somebody reason like that? You say you love me now. Of course, that's the love. But if you don't have the strength to contain this pressure that is coming on you from this person you love, you will damage the thing. You will damage the thing. Then you need the skills to handle those kind of situations. You need the skills to do what you do, to play your part. Many of us don't go through these things. And do you know that when you marry and you start facing these things, you should thank God for them? One man, they complain, hey, my wife, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. The woman be like sandpaper. Everything, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Then the man say, oh, thank God. God knows say you rough, so he give you some paper where go smooth you. Because if you see some paper anywhere, now where you go smoothing thing be that? Not be so. You don't use some paper where the place don't smooth already. No. It's rough. That's why we are smoothing it. But it takes strength. It takes strength. Because believe me, when you marry, you wake up one day, this woman that you say you love, or this husband that you said you love so much, will say something and you said, did I make a mistake? No, you didn't make a mistake. But that's what Satan will be telling you. So you can damage the whole thing and say, to hell with everything. You've missed it. You missed it. Hello? So do you now see why we have problems? We get into marriage without becoming people who can do marriage. And you can't do marriage until you become a person who can do it. Because everything comes with its issues. It attracts things or it comes with things. If you can't contain them, you will have problems. And that's why the starting point is becoming. I told you I'm an engineer by training. I used to wonder, why did God one thing with foundations. When it is finished, what happens? They cover it. So every building needs a foundation to stand. If the foundation is not in good condition, it won't stand. It is the first to be built, but when it is done, it's covered. So nobody sees. When they come, nobody talks about this foundation good, this house good. Is that what they do? What are they talking about? The good paint on the wall, the windows, and what have you. But if the foundation is not there, it's not going to stand. So becoming a person who can do is foundational. It's a foundation. When I was working in government, I told you, some of you know this motor park on Bauchi Road. That place was bush then. There was these problems then. We had to construct that place. I was the engineer in charge. And the governor then was a military governor. So when this problem came, said, okay, we are going to build a motor park. This place, so went to Bauchi Road, went there and said, engineer, I'm coming back in 1 week time. And when I come back in 1 week time, I want to see the thing finished. Is that all right? Did you hear me? I said, yes, sir. And he left. And through 1 week, he came back. And when the man came back, you know what he saw? We're digging, because it was a big place, and we're digging deep. He looked at me, he said, where did you read your engineering? I said, from ABU, sir. He said, ABU? And you are doing this? I said, what have I done, sir? He said, I told you that when I come, I want to see that the wall is up. And instead of going up, you are going down. What kind of engineer are you? And I said, sir, if we don't go down, we can't go up. He looked at me and I said, sir, if we don't go down, we can't go up because we need a foundation. And you'll notice that some of the places are even deep because of the kind of soil we have there. That's why we have to do this. The man looked at me, and I'm coming back again next week. By the time I come back, he left. Then he called me in the evening. He said, engineer, no mind the talk now, television talk with that one. Do what is correct, my brother. If you don't have a foundation, you can't stand. We need this foundation. And that's why children who don't grow up in homes that are providing this foundation, they become, and unfortunately many of us are growing up in homes that we are seeing father and mother not there. Or what, even if they are there, they are not doing marriage correctly. Because of, and the problem is not them, or is who they have become because of how they were raised. So they too need help. And God has provided us opportunities to learn. Like this forum that we have today to share. And so what you guys have started now, believe me, it's something that if you are to pay for it, you can't pay. You should thank this group for bringing you here. Because we expect that when you hear these things, go and do research. Go and study more. Ask God to explain these things to you. But when you see the value, the relevance of these things to your living life, as life should be lived, then you see what I'm talking about. So let me stop in here and if you have any questions. If not, let me go and sit down and then carry my bag and go home. Do you have any questions? What I've said, does it make sense? Does it make sense?
My question, sir, is while you were speaking about the family life and the whole family thing, and with the examples you've given with respect to how the military thing and all, one of the things that military and insecurity thing. And I kept thinking that these men who are doing this thing, they grew up from a family, and some of the things you said about the head, heart, and hands, and then the military way of doing things is how they probably must have been trained, and these people have become hardened. And then they do this mayhem and this inhumanity to other humans. And my thought is, what have we done wrong? And then what, as a nation, how can we help curb this? Because that's just what has been running through my mind.
Good question. The first thing is, these that have already gone in front have caught this thing. They have become this kind of people. The first thing, at least, that we need to do is prevent those who are coming from joining the queue. That's number one. Because as I told you, these young ones who are watching, it's a dangerous thing because the boy said, I want to be senator. Not because he has researched being a senator and realized that, look, God has called me based on who I am. God's calling me to be a senator. No. He's thinking of the benefits of what he's going to get. But the other thing also is that, if people want to be admired, fame, they want to be what have you, like these ones that were showing money off in what have you, I learned they've caught them. I pray that is true. But the thing is that most young people, why do you think we have the problems we have today with, like, you see these boys who wear their trousers here? sagging, as they call it, isn't it? Where did they see it from? Television. And where? The US, from the US. He has never been to America, but he's dressing like American what? And they are prisoners. Why are they having this sagging thing is that they don't want them to put belt because they can use it to kill themselves. And the trousers were oversized trousers. And so they have no option but the thing like that, and then they left it and then it becomes style. So where is the thing coming from? Where is the source of this thing? Is it the truth? Is it what should be? No. But people are copying because people want to be admired. They want to be the center of attention. I usually talk to people about, do we cut our coat according to our size or according to our cloth? And most people say size. And I said, who defines size? Some take oversize now. They will cut their coat oversized. The truth is that who defines size? Society. People want to impress society. They want to be admired. They want to be celebrated. They want to be honored. Like in some place, they give you chieftaincy title when you have made money. So they want to also make money so that they can get chieftaincy title. And since they don't ask you, how did you get the money? They want to get it by anyhow. The title issue is that, like the size, cutting your coat according to the size. When I talk to civil servants, I usually say this, or political appointees. What's your name? Huh? Jonathan. Oh, that's the name of my brother. Jonathan. Don't forget, say now you are a big man, you are a senator. You still drive this your car. No shame on Sabek. You are a big man. Do you know that? How can you be driving this car? You're supposed to get one huge jeep. Make them know say you don't arrive. And you come out, you see this car that you've been driving. After all, what is a car? Means of transportation. And you have this money, you are doing your business, you are building your business and what have you. And you look at the car and say, the thing where this man talk now, true. That's we are meditating on the thing now. If this man is talking like this, how many people I need to do something about this car? Because no wonder yesterday when I went to that place, they didn't call me. They didn't acknowledge me. They didn't ask me to come and sit in front because the car I came with. Okay, I know. And you go out and then start all kinds of things, even if it means to kidnap. You join them, do that, and you get the money, and you buy the big one. Maybe we'll say, what color? Black. Okay, big black one. And then now you bought it. They invite you for whatever. You want to go, but you will go late so that they will know that you have come. And then you have to change the dress you are wearing so you can match. And then you now drive late to the place. Parking place, you want to park in front so that they will know that you have arrived. And then when you park, you come out swelling like a toad so that everybody will know that you have come. And then they acknowledge you, come and sit down and what have you. And then when you are leaving, one of the people comes to you and says, Jonathan, why you buy black one now? Everybody, they buy white now. That's the one with the ring. How can you buy black one? And you come out and look at the thing and you say, and do you know something about all these issues? As you go out, you will not, there will be many black ones there. You won't see them, not white ones where you're going to see. And then you try to want to buy the white one so that you can be relevant. By the time you do all the what have you to buy the black or the white one, model don't change. It's no longer this way, the rain, another one. And by the time you are going on those things, doing all those rubbish things to what have you, Satan is taking control. In the process, if you die. That is what is killing us. You have to define who you are, why you are, and where you are going. And let the noise be made. That shouldn't worry you. You are not out to please men. It's God. That's the only audience you should play for. But this ability or this capacity to have all this starts from home. Because how did your parents live? There are many people who are stealing today because their parents were stealing. And they see it as a way of getting things. So we have a big problem. When the foundation is bad, all other things will follow. That's why we need to correct the head, correct the heart, before we start talking of anything in society. And principles are principles. You can't violate principles and go anywhere. That's the problem. Unfortunately for us, we think we can take shortcut. Shortcut, the wrong belay as they call them. It won't work, because as long as the earth remains, there shall be seed time, harvest time. Give and you will get. If you have not given and you get, you are a thief. And whatever you get without giving anything, down the road, something must be taken from you, because you can't violate the principles. They don't care how you get the money. As long as you have the money, they will celebrate you. True, they will celebrate you, but down the road, there's a big hole waiting for you that you will fall inside. Satan knows they take a year or till tomorrow. When it's time for him to take his share, he will take. David in Psalm 73, he said, go read that chapter, very interesting. That thing has encouraged me a lot. Psalm 73. He said he nearly missed it when he saw the prosperity of the wicked. Because we are seeing all these people doing all the things that they are doing now. And we think that, oh, all it takes is to have, and you will be celebrated. Nobody cares about how you got it. They will celebrate you. He said when he saw the prosperity of the wicked, he saw what they are doing, things seem to be working well for them, everything. He said until he went into the sanctuary and saw their end. You place them on slippery ground, they will go. So let this hula baloo of people, what have you, the result in you losing direction. The truth will always be truth. God will always have the final say. A day is coming when all of us are going to appear before him. So whatever is going on now, don't mind all those stuff. But it takes strength to say no to all these things that we are seeing. Because sometimes you graduated the same year. And here is this guy who was even the dunce in your class. And he comes out and joins all these groups and what have you. And he passed with that smart car. Not with this person, with that. And he was the worst in our class. What thing happened? And you start looking for him. You start looking for him and you catch up with him one day and say, bros, what is happening now? Man, don't they struggle for how many years now? Nothing they work. What thing happened? He said, kill yourself, but this is your church thing. They go say, church. You go die there. Come, make us show you what thing to do. And before you know it, they show you what? The other way. And then you go the first one, you get a hair, so now so the thing there. Before you know it, you are in the pit. If they catch you and they don't kill yourself, you should thank God. Because that may give you opportunity to change. Is that not so? But some people, they die along with it. So what is the truth? Let's live by the truth. But as I said, living by the truth, doing truth is not easy. You have to be transformed. The head must be corrected. The heart must be corrected. Then the hands. Hello? Yes, sir, please. Yes, help me when...
Thank you.
Comment, yep.
Praise the Lord. At the risk of repetition to this excellent session we've had, you reminded us a little earlier, we are battling with two kingdoms. the kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light. And so when things like this happen, you know where the source is coming from. And I also like what you talked about, the strength. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So one thing I always tell myself, Ilya, however bad it is, you're on the victory side, as long as the Lord. Because Satan many times like to convince me that he's more powerful, he has it all under control. If I don't do what he wants me to do, I'm not going to make it. But don't forget, it's not a matter of numbers, but it's a matter of he who has won the victory. One thing I'd like to add, Engineer Chikan, is about where is the place of, in this journey, where is the place of togetherness, mentoring, community? Because I usually I have about 8 C's I use, in this whole thing, character being one of them. But where do you see community? You are a mentor and a coach. Where do you see us here getting help from others in this tough journey? If you can speak a little bit about that.
Okay, beautiful question. And very relevant too. That's why we have family. Wherever you have, somebody said, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. Why do you think that is relevant? You need support. If the table has 2 legs, yeah, it can stand. Is that not true? And it's balanced, but it can easily fall. But when the thing has 4 legs, what happens? It's more stable. So it is with teamwork, partnership. We need one another for support. We need one another for encouragement. We need one another for. And I want you to listen to this. You don't have all. That's why you need others. You can't do it all. When God created Adam, and later he said, it's not good for him to be alone. Let me make him a what? A helpmate. And he gave him a wife. That's an indication to us that we can't do it alone. That's why even the word team is always said together, everyone achieves more. So when we work together, we can achieve more of whatever we are looking for. But the problem is always the coming together of these different people. Because the problem we have is that by the time we come together, I would want you to be like me. You want me to be like you. But if I become like you, then there's you won't need me. I need you because you are different from me. And because you are different from me, you have some things that will make up for the deficiencies in me. Sometimes when I hear some of these talks and the rest of them, I will sit down sometimes and think about my wife. And I will go back and say, I said, let me go and apologize to this woman. I've really not exploited the benefits of God giving this woman to me. But sometimes when you go sit down and look at her, you ashamed or what, I don't know what to put it, but sometimes whatever, the human thing, Satan will be talking to you and say, how can you go and apologize to a woman? You are a man. Or how can you go and say this and that and that? But a wise person will always want to use maximally what he can benefit from. If you've been given something that can assist you, it's like you have a ladder to climb to this wall, and you said, no, I can jump. And you lift the ladder and you are going to train to jump. Before you know it, you fall and break your head. But many of us, because of who we are, that's why we have to work on ourselves first to be able to work as teamwork. That's the level 3 person, one characteristics, one thing about him is teamwork. Because we need each other. We can't do it alone. God has put us in families to teach us about teamwork, to educate us about the need for other people. You don't have it all. We need each other. We need each other. But the problem is working together. That's why we have to become people who can work with other people to succeed. Because 2 hands are better than 1. 2 hands are better than 1. But can 2 work together unless they be agreed? And that's where there's always the problem of teamwork. We don't agree. And why don't we agree? We see things differently. Why are we seeing things differently? We are coming from different places, backgrounds. And that's why becoming a Christian is very, very necessary, because it helps repair the head, the heart, and the hands. Teamwork. You can't do it alone. If not for anything, it's the fact that you are here for others, not for yourselves. If not for anything, everything that you need to function in this world is with other people. That's a problem. And so if you think you can go on your own, then you will be deficient in many things. We need each other. But the first requirement, the foundational requirement, is becoming people that can work with other people. This becoming concept is key. Because until you become a person who can work with other people, you can't work with them. Believe me, you. As I talk, as I stand here, I talk. As I was saying, I said I feel like going back to go and hold my wife and say, my dear, I'm sorry. I've not understood many things, so because I need you more than I think I need you. And it's true. Because many of us, God has given us partners, has given us help, but we're not utilizing it enough. You quarrel with her every day. You quarrel with him every day. At the end of the day, you are not tapping the benefits of what you need to be you. It's a very important thing. Sometimes when I talk like this, tears come down my face. Because we are not utilizing the things that God has given us to enjoy life. I have come that they may have life and have it what? Abundantly. How many of us are enjoying the abundant life? Having become Christians. Having become Christians. And it's all because we have not become. Yes. Thank you very much, Ilya. Any other question? Because I have to leave here some few minutes to come. I need to go for another meeting about 2 something. So, yes, please. But don't worry about that talk. Let's talk.
Okay. Thank you for the teaching, the mentorship, and other stuff, sir. We appreciate it. So I have 2 questions to ask. 1, at what age should parents mentor their children to become wives or husbands?
Good question.
That is 1.
Okay, let's take that one, then we'll take the second one. At what age should parents mentor their children to become good wives, good husbands?
Yes, sir.
Do you know something? From day one that you give birth to a child, as the guy starts growing up, he's seeing. There are many things you think these children don't know. At a certain age, you think as if, so you can do, they say they won't understand what we are doing, for where they know more than you think. And they learn by what? Watching. Mentoring has 2 things. And that's one thing many people don't understand. Apart from passing the information, the facts, they are also passing the person who you are. How? They are watching. They are watching. And that's why if a child grows up in a house that there's no love, or that sees his father beating his mother, or the mother beating his father, he would think that's what it's supposed to be. And so, all through life, it's not like you are going for a classroom session. So he said, this time around, I'm going to teach you about how to look after your wife. And you sit him down and talk to him and talk to him. No. We learn best even by living. That's why Jesus stayed with the disciples, isn't it? He lived with them for 3.5 years. And he was living the life. He taught them, yes, but his person, who he is also passing on to them through how he lived. So it's not a question of age. The day you give birth to your child, know that that's the day mentoring and coaching starts. Coaching has to do with skills. That's why we associate coaching with football. So it has to do with doing something, enabling the person to use his potential. But mentoring has to do with what? The person, mindset, values, character, and the rest of them. Okay, so from day one that you have the child, know that the mentoring and coaching starts. Is that clear? So we can't give you age because they are living with you, they are watching you. Do you know that you are mentoring somebody now in your community? But you may not know. If I ask you now that, are you a mentor? You will say no. But I will tell you, no, you are a mentor already. These young people around you, they are watching you. I was shocked one day when those days, I lived in Dadinkoa for almost 30 years. And one young boy, I was in the bank. I had this issue, and then they told me to go see the officer. And when I walked in, the man stood up, was greeting me, sir. And I was like, do you know me? He said, look, we are here today because of people like you. And I said, how? He said, I was born in Dadinkoa. And we are growing up as young children, I always see you. You remember that you are black car? And I was like, he said, black car? He said, Renault. They even called the type of car. And I said, wonderful. He said, every day you pass in front of our house, going to work, we always see how they dress with tie and everything. It's you I'm copying. And I was like, what? How? I mentored him without. And so it's happening every day. This is the issue. Is that okay? Yes. Second one.
The second question. Why is it that our parents who got the discipline then are now the major source of indiscipline in our today's world?
Simple question. It's a straightforward answer. A good tree bears good fruit. If a tree is not bearing the kind of fruit that is expected of it, then it's not the tree. For example, if they tell me that that tree is a mango tree, and I water it, I put flour, I put manure and what have you, and then it starts bearing orange. I said, no, you are supposed to be mango. What does that tell me? The tree is not a mango tree, so it can't bear mangoes. If our parents are not behaving disciplined as we expect them to be the kind of people, honest people, for example, and whatever, that means they have not become honest people. They might have been doing things because of fear of their parents. Because if they don't do something, they not be like now, when they beat child, they say child abuse. So they were being beaten, and that's why as parents too, we have to be very careful. Because if a child does something wrong and you just beat him, it's not right. Because the child will not know why you are beating him. But you sit him down and tell him, look, because you did this, this is not right, this is not right, this is not, and because of that, I'm going to punish you. And you maybe even cane the person. We have one small girl in our house. My wife's always doing that. And sometimes I would like, and I said, no, that is good mentoring. You said, you did this, I told you not to do it. And this is it. If you continue like this is who you are going to become. And so I'm going to punish you so that you don't do it again. And she bring her hand. And she will kill her. And I will look and I will just turn my face. Because, but that is training that we are supposed to be. And you may beat the child, and you talk to him or what have you, and you leave her, and tomorrow she does or he does the same thing again. What does that tell you? The message has not entered. It has not become. So what do? You still do it again, or you now take a different strategy. Because if that strategy does not work, you have to come up with a strategy that works. So our parents, if they were disciplined and they were made honest people, they will live honest life. But if they are not doing that, that means they did not become people, honest people. The one young boy was brought to church. I remember that very well now. When he said he's not going to go to church again. So why not? Why are you not going to church? And he said, in the church you say we should not do this, we should not do this. But my father is always beating my mother in the house. Is that what it means to be a Christian? The other one was in their school. The teacher was teaching and he would pick up something and say, what is that? Everybody will put up hand and tell the teacher what the thing is. So he took up the bottle, Gulda bottle. What is that? And the boys were stretching their hands. They said, yes, what does it say? Kwalbangiam Baba. His father's alcohol bottle. How did he see? His father. And meanwhile, the father is an elder in the church, and his son, and everybody was like, the man they drink, That's the kind of thing. Even though drinking does not make you a Christian or whatever, but if it is something that can cause you to do what is wrong, then you shouldn't do it. It's not because of Christianity, no. It will damage who you are. Is that okay? Good. Yes, okay, let's take one more. Yes, sir.
Thank you. You started by saying that with the analogy of the fisherman, and you say you can teach people to fish, but that will not make them fish. They may go and sell the nets. And I have been thinking about that because now you're also teaching us how to have wholesome families, how to be wholesome husbands. And I want to describe what I understand briefly. You tell me if I'm correct, and then I'll ask my question. So I understand that you mean that people can become what, for instance, in this case of that fisherman, can become a fisherman if he thinks like a fisherman. If he, sorry, I wrote that down. There's a way you said it. Think, feel, and act. Yes. Think like a fisherman, feels like a fisherman, and acts like a fisherman. So in his case, he might just be repeating what fishermen are doing, even though he doesn't understand it again and again, because you also gave the example of a man. You say you can teach anybody how to be a liar or how to steal. You just tell them steal small thing and then do it again and again and again, and they become a thief eventually. So is that correct? Is that how people become is that how a person, is that the correct way to become what you want to become, by thinking that way and repeating the things again and again until it becomes who you are? Is that correct?
No. Because I can give you wrong information. You agree with it, like I was saying, you can become a liar by telling lies every time, and you become a liar. You graduate. And then you graduate as a liar. And so, oh, okay, thank you. And you become a liar. That is why I was talking about the context. Context is the worldview, the value system that what you are talking about is dependent on. For me as a Christian, my context will be biblical worldview. What does and then the content. Okay. The content is what is that thing about the thing that I want to do. For example, we're talking about relating to our family members, isn't it? So the way I talk to my wife, the way I relate to my children, I should do it as a Christian. The way I make money, I should make money as a Christian. So we're talking about correcting the head, the heart, and the hands, is that let it be the truth that he is operating by. So if I am telling him to do something, teaching him about, I'm teaching him the truth. But he will not accept the truth unless his context, that is his worldview, his perception, is all based on biblical truth. So if I tell you love your wife, you are supposed to love. That is biblical word. But if I tell you love your wife and you are not a Christian, it may not make sense to you. I don't know whether that makes sense in the question you're asking about. So we're not just talking about, because if you notice, there are many books out there today who are talking about you can become by this. Positive thinking. Walk, like dress this way and you'll be like this. There are teachings like that. The monks, what they talk meditating and what have you understand, you will become that. Yeah, okay, you can become whatever, but is that the truth? And we are talking of the truth because we are looking from the source of what life is from. The person who created, we are looking from his angle. We are looking at things from how he says things should be, first of all. So we are Christians first, before these things we're talking about, because that is who we are supposed to be. I don't know whether that makes sense to you.
Yes.
That's right.
So the other part of my question is, so you said people get into marriages and become husbands. When
They marry.
Yes, they marry and they are not husbands.
They've not become
They have
people
not
who can
become-
do.
I will be entering into that life soon. I need to understand how am I supposed to measure myself to say, am I the right person? Am I ready in terms of becoming the kind of person who can hold this kind of family you have described? So how am I going to examine myself in practical terms?
For example, we said a husband should love his wife. Is that not so? Ephesians, go read Ephesians. Where's chapter 6 or 5? 5, isn't it? Go read that. And then you now ask yourself, can I do these things? And he said something. And that's one of the things that many of us as Christians, many churches have missed it. And somebody said something very interesting that I can always liken it. Somebody preached a powerful sermon, telling them about what Christ has done for us, and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and quoted all those verses and what have you, and told them, look, as Christians, this and that and that. And then when the service ended, he was going out later because they went into the vestry and they were coming out. There was one young boy waiting for him at the door. I said, excuse me, sir, can I talk to you? And said, yes, what can I do for you, young man? He said, yes, I'm one of those you just spoke to inside. But can I tell you something, sir? I have a question. He said, yes, what is it? He said, sir, do you know what you've done today? The man said, no. What is it? Tell me. He said, what you have done today can be likened to this. You've told me about a beautiful car, powerful car that you've brought for me. And you've told me what the car can do. You tell me how good the car is, how necessary, why I need the car. But you know what? You left without giving me the key. And the man looked at the boy. He said, yes, you talked about all those things that I have acquired as a Christian, things that have been made available to me as a Christian. But you didn't tell me how I can activate them. Does that make sense to you? And so many of the things that we are, that's why we have problems. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. We need to understand who is Christ. What did he bring? Do we have access to what he has brought? How do we activate it? That is a powerful issue that I've been battling with myself as a teacher. It's not enough for me to tell people that having become a Christian, you have access to everything that you need for life. Because First Peter said it, isn't it? God has provided us with everything we need for life and godliness. Now, if he has provided us everything, it's like telling me, look, I have deposited so much money in your bank account. Oh yeah, this is what you have in your bank. And you said, you go out and said, I'm a millionaire. I have so much money in my bank account. Then you have need for money. And what should you do? Go draw from the account. But if you don't know how to draw, what will happen? You still live in lack. And that's where our biggest problem is. God has provided us with everything that we need for life. What do we need to become? For example, when we talk about the reprogramming the head, reformatting for it to be compatible with whatever is downloaded. How do we do that? The Bible is very clear about it. It said meditate. Is that not so? Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. Meditate on this word day and night, and you will be successful. What does it mean to meditate? What does meditation do to you when you meditate? There's a book, very interesting book. Maybe, I don't know whether you can find it, but it's talking about who switched off my mind. Because a research has been done by scientists, and they've confirmed what the Bible is saying. So whenever science and Bible come together, you know that, look, this is powerful, and not only that, but we've made available to us easier the ways of getting what the Bible has promised us. And they illustrate it this way. It said meditation is like, okay, now there's rainy season. There's an untarred road. When you pass with your car, by the time you pass, what have you done there? The tire has created a groove, isn't it? Tomorrow another car passes. What happens? It leaves like a clear path. So that when somebody comes on that road, naturally you won't go on this other, you follow this existing, before you know it, it's easier to follow those issues. He said the same thing happens in the brain of a person. As we are thinking, that's why you see Satan's strategy is thoughts. He gets you to be thinking about something every time you are creating paths in your head. So that when the opportunity to do the thing appears, you can easily just follow to do it because already there are in the head. And so many of us are waiting for God to come and do, but we have a part to play in correcting the head. Because it is about functioning with the truth. So that the path that will be made in your head will be that of the truth. So that by the time God's truth comes to you, it will not be a problem accepting it. Because you have created grooves in your head with God's word. A man is preaching in church and said, you will buy a car tomorrow. That's a blessing. God has said he will provide us with every blessing. And what have you? And this guy is looking at you. Nobody's ever bought a car in his village, talk less of his family. and you are not telling him you buy a car, he will look at, that's why as we are preaching the man, so before you know it, he starts sleeping. The same guy who was dancing during worship time, he's dancing and what else? Suddenly he started sleeping. What's happening? What you are saying does not make sense to him. It's passing on his head. So we have work to do. Then the Holy Spirit comes. The strength that we are talking about, the heart now, the strength we are talking about is the fruit of the Spirit. The day you became a Christian, you were sealed with the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit comes with you. That means he comes with all the 9 traits that gives us strength to say no to any derailment force. Now, how do you activate it? By faith. By saying, he is in me, and I have what I need to say no to this. So how do you prove that you believe what they have said? You start acting. Say no. The thoughts come to your mind to do something, and you said, I will not do that. Satan, leave me alone. Holy Spirit, help me. And you see what will happen. You access the strength that is stored in your, it's like accessing the bank account of the needs that you have so you can withdraw. But many of us are waiting for God to come and do for us. Meanwhile, he expects us to do. But you cannot do until the head and the heart agree. And the head and the heart can agree until the head has had grooves that have been made to be you. Because every one of us has 2 levels of the brain, or the heart, the head, I mean. We have what we call the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And everything that you are thinking and doing whatever is being stored in that subconscious mind. So when a thing comes, like new information, the first thing is you hear it in the air, then the brain processes it to analyze it. When you understand it, what the man is saying, then you now compare it with what is in conscious. And if they don't match, you reject. That is why it is work to reprogram yourself. So that what is in the subconscious mind is the truth of God's word. Then when skills. But that's something that we're not being taught. So we think that once you sit down in church and the pastor is preaching and you are hearing him, you will go back home and everything will work. For where it can't work like that. It can't work like that. You have to accept it and be able to act on it. That's why we talk about faith, belief, and faith. Go study those words again and you understand what they mean. Okay? Then, when you now study the word, like we are saying, you are going to be married soon, isn't it? So you need to become a man who can do marriage activities. One of which is what? Love your wife. What does it mean to love somebody? Do you know what it means to love somebody? Do you know what it means to say you are relating to somebody correctly? Do you know who a wife is? What role is she supposed to play in your life? What role are you supposed to play in her life? What will enable me to play that role is that what I have in my head enables me to be able to do that. That is the truth on which I operate by. I don't know, maybe one of these days we'll deliberately have a session that will talk about reprogramming your head to reformat. You know, everything man made is the computer is man. Man trying to copy God. Oh, yes. This is it. You know. Yes, sir.
I don't want to say one thing.
Okay, please say.
Oh, thank you. I just don't want to live without saying this from Psalm 73, which is apparently is one of my favorite psalms. And I want to leave us talk about reprogramming and those grooves you talked about. Let me suggest two verses in that chapter that you can memorize, which has really blessed me. They are Psalm 73, 25, 26. He says, "Whom have I in heaven but you? And there is none upon earth that I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." Put that down, memorize it, and keep saying that directly between you and God. Let those grooves begin to form.
Exactly.
And Psalm 73, which really, really speaks to me a lot. Those verses will be a blessing to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, the truth is this. When we talk of this God that we're talking about, do you really know him? Does it make sense to you when you talk about this subject of God? Because until you get to think about this God that we're talking about and what his words means, it's like when you were growing up as a child. If your father says, "I will buy you Christmas clothes," what do you usually do? Or what usually goes into your mind? Are you going to say, okay, maybe he will, maybe he will not? Or maybe, okay, no, he will not until I see. Is that the kind of thing goes on? No, because in the past, he has always what? When he says, "I will buy," what he does, what happens? He buys. I was told these guys were flying. There was one flight. They met turbulence. You know, when you meet turbulence in flying, don't pray to get one. When you will think the thing will drop. And the plane was, people were crying. "What have you somewhere? What have you?" That's when you will know the death. Because, you know, I was coming from Lagos one time, and there were these Israeli women that I was working with. And from Lagos, we went to Enugu, Lagos, Jos, and then Abuja for them to go, and then I'll go back. And then we were coming from Abuja, from Jos, and suddenly the plane started coming down. What happened? The windscreen cracked. And this woman just went on me. She was crying. My husband told me not to fly in Nigeria. My husband told me not to fly in Nigeria. I will die now. I will die. The woman just became white immediately. And we were told that there was a case like that, this turbulence, and there was this small boy there. When the plane goes, everybody would say, "Hey," the boy would just say, "Hey," and everybody was like, you know. So by the time that God will have it, the thing stabilized and was now what was going, then one man asked, he said, "Oh, you young man, did you know what was happening at all?" I said, "Of course I know what's happening." So why were you not afraid? He said, "My father is the pilot. My father is the pilot." Do you know what that means? I know that there's nothing that my father cannot do. That's how we are supposed to know God. If we know God for that there's nothing he cannot do. But that knowledge, it takes reformatting, reprogramming. Sit down and look at things that have happened to you that you can ascribe to God. Then you will now say, "Look, this God, I can trust him. I can take his word for what he says." Friends, when some of us talk from experience, I came in from Banjul in Lagos. I always tell this story. They canceled the flight to Jos. So I collected my money. Now, I didn't know that they're going to Lagos, to Abuja from Lagos. The difference between the fares to Jos and Abuja is 2,000 naira. So when I bought the Abuja ticket, I was left with 2,000 naira. Now, this thing happened when there was no ATM yet. So I was like, what am I going to do? I was looking around to see whether I would see somebody from Jos to borrow money from. So at least when we get to Jos, I can pay back. Nobody. I sat there waiting wondering what will happen to me. Then I looked up to heaven and I said, God, you are the one who sent me to Banjul. I didn't go on my own listen. I went there for your assignment that you sent me. Know what to do with me, honestly. And I sat down, wondering what will happen. And as I sat down there wondering what will happen, suddenly one young man walked in, well-dressed, well-suited, with his bag, looking nice. The guy walked in. As he was walking in, then he saw me sitting down, He looked, and I was sitting down. This guy just went on me. He dropped his bag and went on me. I was like, what is this? Security thought somebody was attacking somebody. So the rush came and said, he said, no, this one is my daddy. I've been looking for him. What? The guy said, engineer, where have you been? Where have you been? I've been looking for you. And I was like, huh? I was like, this one a miracle language, I don't know. But it didn't dawn on me. All that was, my problem was, what am I going to do when I get to Abuja? This boy sat down with me when the security people left. He sat down with me and said, hey, Engineer Chikan, I've been looking for you. Where have you been? Where have you been? I said, who are you? And where have you been looking for me? He said, you won't remember. When you were chief engineer, we used to come to your organization. I'll call the name, you will remember. But he used to, JMDB, that they used to come for sideways IT as young people from school. And that I was always talking to them. I said, even in particular, you gave me money to pay school fees. I've been looking for you. I've been wondering where you have been, because I went to the place they said you have left. Is that so? Yes. So what are you doing now? What are you? And I say, he graduated from the school. He's an estate manager now. Estate management that he studied. And when this boy was trying to tell me all stories, I was like, this boy does not know what I'm going through. I'm thinking of how I'm going to get to Jos. But you know what? I didn't know that this boy is a big man. The moment they said flight to Jos cancelled, he called Abuja and they chartered a taxi to wait for him at the airport. So when they called the flight to Abuja, he took my bag, took his bag, said, Daddy, come, let's go. We went, entered the plane. I was still, where am I going to go? We got to Jos. We got to Abuja. We landed. He took my bag, said, come, let's go, Daddy, let's go. And though, because the car was waiting, we entered the car. They brought me to Jos. And the moment, when I got down, I was like, wait, let me go in and get some money to come and... the boy looked at me. He said, Daddy, I wanted to give you money, but I know you will not collect. And he just entered the car and he zoomed off. When he left, and it's some years after September, when he left, that is when it dawned on me that God sent an angel. It dawned on me that God sent an angel. I said, what? If he was not an angel that God sent, I should have asked for his phone number. He didn't ask me for his phone number, for my phone number. There's God. There's God. Believe me, there's God. If you trust God, anytime I share this, tears come down my face. Because when I look around and see how much we don't trust God, when I see how much we don't trust God, I'm telling you, thank you, thank you. When I look and see how much we don't trust God, I just said, what will it take for us to educate people about God so that they can trust God. I went to Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou. And usually, because when I left government work, the way I work with organizations. So they send me to go teach and what different these African countries. And what they usually do is they have talked with the people, so they calculate the money, everything, what have you, put it in an envelope, and just give me the envelope with my tickets and everything. So I don't hold money. So on this particular trip, I went. When I got there, because usually they have self-catering flats. So you hire the one, you stay usually for 1 week. So when I go, I give them the envelope. I pay for the room, or it costs a flat, like a flat. I pay for it, and then they cook food for me. And where I teach, they usually serve food also. So on this particular trip, when I got there, when they took me to the hotel, as usual, waiting to collect the envelope, I heard the voice told me, don't give them the envelope. And I said, look here, Chief, we'll do something different this time. All this food that you are cooking, I usually don't eat it because I eat at a training place. So why do you, don't worry about the food, I won't do anything. I will pay for the room, I'll buy some tea ingredients. When I come in the evening, I will take tea. In the morning, I'll just take tea. Or I'll even take breakfast at the teaching place. So don't worry about the issues. And I kept the envelope with the money that was remaining inside. I didn't know it was God. Do you know what happened? On the day that I was supposed to leave Ouagadougou, got to the airport at 12 midnight. Because the time they leave, and Arik was flying, Arik fly these West African countries. He said, what happened? I said, like what? He said, your flight left last night. My flight left last night? You told me it's today now. He said, no, look at the time again. I said, look, 12:55. He said, no, the flight left last night. So until next week, you have to stay, come back next week. That means I have to stay for 1 week extra. What? But to tell you that it was not Ouagadougou, I think it was, what do you call it, Banjul again or so. Because there's Equa Church there. Yes, there's Equa Church in Banjul. This guy, the singer, he was there then. Silas Yako was there then. And then when I came in, they saw me say, then you will teach in our church. Because we have this program, you are going to teach, what have you. I said, no, I'm going to leave so day, so I may not be able to. But you see how things worked out so that I can remain and do that work. So I stayed. By the time I went back, the room had not been booked, so the place was still vacant. By the time I paid with the money that I kept, I was able to pay for the flat for the 1 week. And then the money that remained, I could pay ticket penalties from Banjul to Lagos and Lagos to Jos and still give them back some money. And I said, we need to be able to hear God. Because when you hear God, believe me, you will have no problems in life. Because you will know what to do when you need to do it. So I thought for 1 week. And then on the next day, took me to the airport and I flew back. I said, God, the way you do things sometimes. But that's what it takes. When you leave, you can hear God. When you become a Christian, because you know this is, I think I saw this in Ephesians chapter 1. There are 3 heavens. They said this world we live in is also a heaven. That's level 1, heaven 1. The one that Satan and his people did is 2. The one that God and his own people did is 3. That's why Paul said a man was taken to the third heavens and he saw things that he could not talk about. So by the time you become a Christian, you are no longer at level 1. You are where? 3. Satan can't get you. And that's what Ephesians chapter 1 is talking about. By the time you are living in, Satan can't get you. And everything that Satan is doing is for you to lose height. You can come to level 1. Because in the spiritual realm, what is above dominates what is below. So when Satan gets you at level 1, living by flesh, he can deal with you. But by the time you become a Christian, position change. He can't reach you. All his efforts is to get you to lose height. That's why sin is dangerous. Because it makes you to lose height. By the time you lose height, you can't benefit from the things that are made available to you by virtue of the new people that we have become. Life is supposed to be easy, but we don't understand it. We can't fight Satan. We don't have what it takes. But he has made available to us what we need to fight him. But you can't do it at this level. You have to be at that level. So when the head correct, heart correct, hands correct, you will have access to level 3, heaven 3. And you will function totally different. That's why becoming a person who can live life rightly, which has to do with moving to level 3, is requirement number 1. Then you can now acquire the skills to do. Hello. I'm sorry. Anytime I tell this story, tears come down my face. Because I said, this God, if only we know him, if only we know him, believe me, your life is so easy. But we don't. So we're trying to do things by ourselves. And we can't fight this man. We can't fight him. We don't have what it takes. So I can do all things. Remain and I in you. Without me, you can't do. So I think I should stop here because I need to go for another meeting. Judith, I'm sorry, I have to go. I have another meeting at 2:30. So I need to drive to town. So gentlemen, no lady around, only gentlemen. You guys are lucky. I'm telling you. By the time you go through this, you will be reprogrammed completely. Your life will be different. You will become different people. People who can live life. It's not about knowing what to do first. No, becoming who can do what to do. And that's what this training is about. You have to become. When you do, you'll see what life will be like. So thank you very much for sitting. This is a wonderful class. Nobody was praying for us. You know, when people start sleeping, I say they are praying. So well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. And so we wish you the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much, sir. Before you leave, let's ask one of the co-reps to give a vote of thanks to our daddy before he leaves. Quickly, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very, very much. We are extremely grateful. I think the only way that you will know what impact you have done here today is when you begin to see the results, and you will see the results. We can assure you that by the help of God. So thank you very much, sir. God bless you and strengthen you.
All right, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to hear you, sir. God bless you. Thank you for coming, sir. All right, gentlemen. It's been a wonderful day. And how blessed are we? How blessed are we today? Very blessed, right? How many of us can connect the dots between last class and this class? How many of us can connect the dots? Can we be able to do that? Because I remember Dr. Ojo also talked about things similar to what has been spoken here. You know, where you are and where you need to be. Your real self and your ideal self. So for those that are always saying, this is the real me, the real you is not the ideal you. Am I correct? And while he was talking, I took my time. He was speaking, I was checking the real definition. I knew the meaning, but you know when you have to double check. The word being, B-E-I-N-G, being, you know, and it's a continuous thing, you know, being. It's you know, derived from the verb be, you know, and then you continuously. And I have here, it says, a holistic perspective. Being is not merely what you do or what you have, but who you are at your core. It is the continuous process of living authentically, growing intentionally, and aligning your actions with your values and purpose. So I don't think there was a mistake when they called us human beings. There was no mistake, right? So I think it's clearer to us now why we are called human beings and not just humans. We must put that beings there because we are gradually progressing to always have that in mind. And we thank God for all the sessions we've been going through. It's been an honor. Yes, please. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The horse, yeah. Yeah.
It has to be being and then what? Doing. That's why it talks about the head,
the heart, and the hands.
We are not called human doings, but human beings.
Exactly, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. All right. You know, it's a process. You know, the more he kept talking, he was mentioning becoming. And like I was making reference to Dr. Joe's class last month, he was saying there is a gap between your real self and your ideal self. Although he made mention of some things, but it was today that it came to me that that gap is the wilderness journey. That process you need to go through. You need to become, you know. So God will help us all. All right, we've spent quite some time. We still have a lot of things to do. But I would like to give the floor to the cohort representatives. Okay. Okay. Should we continue? Because we'll still have like a class forum where we'll talk about today's class. So, I don't know. Should we go ahead with what? Yeah, it's past 2. Are we good? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's show of hands. We should go ahead, show of hands. Let's postpone it to next week, show of hands. Next class. Okay. All right. Okay, so They have decided next week. Okay. So meanwhile, I would like to first of all introduce the cohort representative to the faculty. Please, gentlemen, can you stand up? Okay. Okay, you have to leave, sir. All right, sir. All right. Okay. It's okay. So, yes, ma'am. The two gentlemen standing, there was an election process. Was it election or selection? Election. Okay, not the INEC type. Oh. It was wholesome, and they both came forth as representatives. Both of them doing the same job, but assisting each other to manage the activities of the cohort 2026 of the ECBI fellowship program. So this is officially presenting them to you, ma. Yeah. And also at this point, they have something for us, right? Okay, so.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Amen. I'm Moses Nangang. Standing here, we also want to appreciate our mommy. You have been an encouragement and an inspiration to us. And she celebrated her 70th birthday. That was 10th of May. So just in appreciation to say thank you so much for all you do to us. It's unquantifiable, but we just give a little token of appreciation and to say, just like Joshua, he said, even at 80, he still said, "What, give me that mountain." And I like it when I read from your book, he said, when you saw the hill, he said, "Get me that hill." And today we have this wonderful initiative. So we just want to honor you and just say thank you. For now, we have more gifts coming in, but for the present, we just want to present this to you in recognition of your work. Thank you so much. So this on behalf of the cohort 2026. We are so grateful and we are honored. I believe second child, anytime you have a second child, is more better. There is somehow, because we see every mistakes of those who have gone ahead of us, and then we do better. So thank you very much. Thank you, cohorts, for this opportunity to see.
All right. Thank you so much, the representatives. All right. This is officially informing everyone that henceforth our classes start by 10 a.m. Please. And please, I need us to understand something. At this point, ECBI is not what we may think it is. In fact, ECBI is an institute. An institute of learning. So please, I want us to see it that way. So moving forward, we are going to see how we can arrange ourselves and have more physical meetings or more online meetings. How many of us have finished reading An Enemy Called Average? Jonathan? Fabian? Have you? Huh? Mr. Solomon? Hey, you've read it. You've read it. Well, you people are lucky that I cannot remove people's money from your salary. You are very lucky. Please, let's endeavor to read. We are all on the book club platform, isn't it? It's not for, well, it's not so that you can show that you belong to groups. it is for impact. And one of the cardinal points of ECBI's institutional growth is by what? Reading. That is why we have established the ECBI Book Club. I hope we understand that. That book, I finished it under one day. Just a day. I finished it. Maybe because I'm a fast reader, I don't know. Yes, sir. There is a... That's what I'm saying now. Today is supposed to be the last day. That's why I asked who has finished. Because we have a review class this evening, isn't it? Uh-huh. So please, gentlemen, it's not just for show, okay? All right, so we're going to break into how do we want it? Do we want to have our... Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Before I leave, I want to say thank you very much. I wasn't expecting this, so I want to thank you very much for this presentation. Wherever it came from, may God reward you in Jesus' name. Yeah, and then like he was talking about the book club, please, I will want us to form a reading habit. It's good. It's good. You see, you can exercise your body. The only way you can exercise the brain is by reading and thinking, And when you don't read, and when you don't read, you can't even think well. That is the truth. When you don't read, it is difficult to implement all these things. You just come, listen, and go back, and changes will not come, But the moment you begin to read, something activates in your brain, So I want to beg all of us, even if it's a small book, try as much as possible to read. You will do yourself good. Like I was speaking with somebody, a group last week Sunday, and we were talking about this AI thing, and I am like, yeah, you can ask chat GBT, questions and so on. But then they can produce answers for you. But do you know the dangerous part of it? It kills your brain. It kills your brain. What do I mean? Number one, this chat GBT that, a lot of people go to get answers. Who feeds them with those answers? Is it not humans like you? Huh? Humans like you feed them with those answers. And then it will come to a point whereby if you do not use your brain, what happens? It is taken away from you. You can't think well anymore. Your dependent will be on that. And that is actually what, I don't like to use the word the devil, but the devil of the world has actually made us to kind of depend on them. But what will be taken over the world will not take you when you begin to study. The Bible says, study to show yourself approved. Look, study to be critical thinkers. Because the people that AI will not be able to replace are critical thinkers of tomorrow. And you cannot be critical thinkers of tomorrow without studying, without reading. So I want to beg of you, so that next time when another AI come, you will be, your critical thinking would have gone to a high level that they will be looking for you to feed those AIs. Do you understand what I mean? Please, try as much as possible, no matter what it is, give it to yourselves. Tell yourself, I will read one chapter of a book every day. You go to work, you come back. After you come back and you do some few things, what next? Take just one chapter a day. And by the end of a month, you'll be amazed how many books you will complete. You yourself. By the end of the year, you will be a talking library. So please, just one chapter, not more than that. One chapter a day of whatever book. And by the special grace of God, by December, you'll be a different person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. And speaking of AI, I hope we know that very soon if you don't even know how to use the AI itself, you will not be part of the world population. Eh? Even the AI that she talked about, if you're not even a critical thinker, you can't even get the best result out of AI. I know so because I use AI. If you're not a critical thinker, you won't even get the best result. Somebody said, if you like, don't exercise. If you like, don't exercise well. The doctor that will treat you in the future is using ChatGPT to write the exam. As funny, as funny as it sounds, you see, bottom line, let me not waste our time. Let's be critical thinkers. And one of us here today, even though this particular person is always in the background, doesn't like showing themselves, today is her birthday. So she's the apple of some people's eye. Yeah? So please, let's be on our feet and sing happy birthday song for her. All right. Who is the choir master? Who is the choir master? So I assign Mr. Solomon as the choir master.
Young man. Yes, I'll, at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
May the good Lord.
No. I did not continue now.
Master did not continue.
Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Okay, so very quickly, like I said before, I want us to understand something. Can you end the live stream and stop the recording? Thank you.